Hello and welcome. My name's Derek, and I sell physical media on eBay and make videos about that stuff. Good rock and music, good reason to rock and celebrate. Wish it was in the sound or the tone of money. It wasn't a big sales day, and here's why. Stop music. So last night during my stream, I referred to a comment a while ago because I was replying to Ramsey at I Found You to Flip, and posted something about the Never Ending Story 3. I said something about Jack Black. So I referred to that first edition Never Ending Story that I sold for $170. So I watched that video, and I mentioned something like that. But when I replied back to someone who commented on that video then, like 6 months ago, it was something like, yeah, well, you combed your hair back then too. So now I'm a little more conscious about my hair. I mean, it doesn't matter if I shower in the morning and it's all dry. I'll get these wings. I have very fine hair. But so during my live stream, taking more stuff apart, more electronics apart, and now I have 2 full bins of plastic, and I'll deal with that later on. That's what happens when you get kind of stuck in the cabin, if you will. I mean, I can go out. I haven't started my car in like 4 or 5 days, with it being 0 degrees outside. Speaking of 0 degrees outside, the rheostat for the heater here stopped working. So it is 56 degrees in here. So in the upstairs, good old heat convection, right? Nope, not warmer upstairs. Like 15 degrees colder. And it's always been that way here. It's always, I'm not going to get into that. So, I mean, before I started that live stream, I was doing a quick email chain, and I get pitched from what's going to be a channel sponsor. Heck yeah. So the details are minimal on what I'm going to give. There is no official declaration. Everything can be inferred from the. Matter of fact, I will screenshot part of that, but I will just black out any identifying things. Well, in that screenshot, you could see that basically on how the sponsorship that gig works. So there is that. So that's kind of exciting. I mean, it'll take a little while. And I mean, I got hit up by and I confirmed the name and the email and where it's from and so on and so forth. So I got hit up by the co-founder of the specific app. So that's pretty cool. You make YouTube in one way. I think I was just saying in a live, it's like, you may have a YouTube or social media platform video things, and your undertone may be that, oh, I'm not doing it for the money. Yeah, you're still in one way or another, but that does help, and it does help to promulgate's probably not really the right word, but it helps to promulgate what I do for physical media and what a lot of people do for physical media. There are a lot of media sellers out there, a lot of them on YouTube as well. But for someone like me, I've been selling for a long time, decades. But this eBay account is like 15 years old. I sell plenty enough. And I make videos because I found that of all the categories that I have sold in, that the one with the least headache, and it sells fast, are the 2 main reasons why I got into physical media. Coffee is done. That's meaning it's the time expired. I mean, it's 9:30, 9:10. I was looking at the second hand. But yeah, so that definitely helps a whole lot in regards to that. So I'm going to have a phone call on Friday to figure more details out and kind of go from there. So it is going to be an app. Well, it is an app, but I'm not going to say what it is because I haven't gotten an official declaration. And not like he said that I can't say, because I figured that that's probably what a lot of sponsor people figured, that the creators are going to mention it anyhow. But I don't want to because, well, it's just better that way. All right, so to make this kind of easy, because I'm just going to dig through the boxes later, I had a pair of Kate Spade frames sell for $30, and then a pair of Koi sunglasses sell for 26. It's kind of strange that I have two eyeglasses or frames sell and say that. Last time, I mean, I'll sell some random ones, but it's few and far between that two sell, and then let alone they're back to back and not from the same person. Neither are repeat buyers. But I have a book. Let me get it. All right, this Art of Vampire. So just got this one. I have yet to list the rest of those other books that I have. So this one got listed in that Minister's Manual. Got listed. And that Minister Manual is like $200. D1. This is gonna be easy. American Dad, $40. 40. 1990 and 1989. A couple more of these model rocket magazines that I just shipped one out yesterday to the same buyer. Came in and picked up two more. So he hasn't even gotten the first one yet. It shipped out yesterday. And then it came in a little after the mail. And picked one up, and then a couple hours later picked up another. But let me get these. All right, 1989 and 1990 Estes Rocket. 1990 is 16, and this one's 17. Actually, they fall right in the middle each. So these go in a box. These ones I may not have to. May just be able to use. But the other one, single use, will go in like an eyeglass box or something about that size. So I think the one bigger. That way it doesn't like bend a whole bunch. Yeah, and you stand a chance to get caught in something. And then I'll break that box down and then put that in an envelope and seal it. So I put a little more money in, but it's only once every few often, right? New Steel PBS Rocktopia. And then only other thing is a book. D28. Rocktopia PBS 19. Let me get this book. All right, this book, Superstition Mountain. And I don't know if this map goes with it. I mean, it goes with it, but I don't know if it specifically came with the book. But it has this old-timey map. Right, so a lot of, and this is something I picked up from, I want to say it's Auction Professor. Now, not that I find a lot of old-timey maps, let alone in books, let alone about treasure hunt stuff. Old maps. I mean, the older the better. Old maps, that's old reference material. I sold that one Appalachian book. Well, I mean, it wasn't too long ago, but it was an Appalachian book, and it had a handful of maps from like the 60s. So if you are a hiker or familiar with the area, whichever it may be, and if you have that old reference map, you could realign, let's just say like trails or whichever. But old maps, yeah, can do well. I still have that old 5-foot wide map that's sitting over here. Each time I was cleaning out that closet, I kept seeing it. Like, oh, man. You got to do something about that. But it's going to be, bulky to ship. Won't be too much of a problem. I've got boxes long enough, and then I have to wrap it up and all that other stuff. But maybe keep it when we move to a place to where, well, I mean, you really can't judge a place by if a rheostat or a thermocoupler goes bad on your water heater or something like that. You can't. But and we've been here. It's gonna be the mark of 6 years in August. It'll be the start of 6 years. It's a little. It's kind of like a townhouse. It's a small townhouse type apartment. I don't like it because these stairs. Getting older. Almost 6 years ago, I was definitely younger. Knees really don't want to tolerate any of that. So that is eight, 7 orders, 8 items, 255. Usually I have a lot to yammer on about. So there's that. What else? So a handful of days, all I've pretty much done is just sell similars. Go in and find. I mean, I've even been going against my usual grain, but anything that has 2 views on the counter that start from the oldest listed and work my way down to 3 month mark or whenever. It could be less than 3 months, but as long as that counter clicks to the 6 month mark, as soon as it goes to the 90-day mark, I stop right there. Because you can click, it'll go to 90 days, and if it's then beyond 90 days, it's been 91, click the next one. And it'll be 6. So right at that difference is when I stop. And then if I need a couple more, if I'm at like 20, I don't bother. But if I'm like 17 or 16, I'll go into my highest listed. And anything that's like 2 months and 22 days or something that has that same type, usually it's going to be more views. Now I'll take the highest price ones down that have been around for a little while and get a lot of traction just to bring that back up. So I kind of cheat myself a little. But I've had a lot of sales and stuff that, just take down and just do a sell similar. It seems to work. Someone did ask in a stream while I was taking some of the electronics apart if I'll do a video about pricing. And I went a little overboard on my response. The answer is yes. It wouldn't be at a computer because this is just my phone. I don't have a regular webcam. The webcam on the laptop is an old like 480 or 720, so I wouldn't be able to see it. I can make a video and then try to superimpose stuff and put one recording over an entire video. I could do it how I did my videos way when I started. It varies, but the point on where I'm going with where that all came from is, I'll do 4, 3, 2, 1, and then go down to some things have been varying up. Then I'll go down to $39.99, and I'll go to, if it's disc media, it'll be $37.89, and if it's not, it'll be like 36. Just small variations. That way, when the next time comes around, it can be 3, 4, 5, 6 or 3, 2, 1, 0, and then 3, 2, 1, 0 becomes $29.99, and then pretty much in that 20 range, it's always $2 until it gets down to 1987, and then it's 2, then it goes to 1789, and then from there it's always just a dollar increment. Those less than 20 things sell fast enough. I'm not burning a whole lot of time doing that, but that is just on how I do the sell similars. It's being just as active, just without the new listings, to have a bunch of items that people have interest in or have looked at. Usually I will do, if the counter is 3 and I click on it, and if the total over that span time, 90 days plus, is 4 or more, it comes down and gets repriced. I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, is it 6? Did they get it? No, it's just coming down. This is getting repriced. It had enough couple of views to where I know it has a degree of interest. And I could bring it down and reprice it. And I'm not one of those to where, let's just say, for example, this pair of Levi 501s are $100. I have to get the $100. It's going to keep coming down, because my one sale of something is not going to kill the market. If I list something and they sell for around $100 and mine sell for 78, gone. That sit and dust. If you're waiting to get money that you might get, the longer you wait for the money, does that make sense? The longer you wait for the money, the operative word right there is wait. Let's not wait. Let's make it less time. I mean, it's still waiting, but make it less time and have things priced right. Not to say that they can't sell for that, but to me, I see it, if it has views and if it has enough interest, it's coming down. And a lot of what I sell is very, very not all of it's collector, but very specific, right, for the buyer. So I don't have to be super super specific on a lot of listings, and a lot of times it is things like this: one-off reference material book. I mean, what was it? $50, $52, right? Cool reference material book. Um, there's not going to be many. I think there are different ones of this. I think it's a newer print. This one is not. I think there's a different one of this. But these very specific things, if there's a what's colloquially just a sell through, but if there's a sales history, things like this, there's not going to be a whole lot of, and you can either wait to try to get that higher price for it. But a lot of times for these physical media things, people will drop the asking price. They're like, yep, because it's not a whole. I mean, I do have some stuff that there is competition out there. But a lot of what I buy, there's not. The competition might be a couple. I might be the only one, or it might be 10. Every once in a while, I'll get stuff where there is a lot, but when there's a lot of listings and the item sells average for $40, yeah, I'm going to buy it regardless because it's just going to flush out that fast. And you can price higher, especially if you do sponsored. You can price higher because by default it's going to come up. And if someone already knows roughly, like, oh, this is $40, this person's $44. They offer best offer of $38. Boom, there we go. But if you don't offer the best offer and a handful of these other things, you're doing yourself a disservice. I just saw someone yammering about the promoted fees. Yeah, I mean, of course they promote at 15%. Like, why? If you can move enough volume to suffice what you need on a weekly or a monthly, I don't see a need to have to promote at that. Promoting is just another tool to supplement, the way I see it. If I didn't promote, and if there was a tool out there that I could use that's eBay related that would help increase sales, that would supplement what's not happening, it's going to cost money. Now, this is not eBay 2005, back when it was still primarily auctions. Wow. I would take a guess if I had to. I'd take a guess and say that they did that had been probably 2017. Anywhere from 16 to 18 is when they phased out, or when they phased in. Almost everything's going to be buy it now, and it's going to be on a 30-day rotation, auto renew, 30-day rotation. It had been right around 16 to 18, I want to say. 16 might be early, 19 maybe, so 17 and 19, either way. So, where I was going with that. So they have this tool. So there's more people that sell, more stuff that's out there, and promoting isn't just sponsored on the top of the page. It gets you out on the search engines as well. So if I could pay what I pay, 2%, and half my sales last year were sold via promoted. And it's still, even at that, I don't think that what people are saying every single sale is going to be promoted is accurate and true, because I've looked at some of my sales and a handful of them do not have a promoted amount charged to my account. A bunch of them don't. So I would have to read a little. Well, it's not something I'm really worried about. But if you would have to pay 2%, I do 2%. I remember when it was 1%. The minimum was 1. If I had to do 2%, and that's the tool, I have to pay 2% in order to get, at least under my metrics, 50% more sales. So for anyone who grovels about the price and the cost of, especially just the promoted, open the curtains. Look at things in a different, wider view. They just don't all of a sudden be like, hey, let's just start charging these people XYZ because it's for no reason. eBay has their reasons. Yes, cash grab for sure. But I'll bet you that you make more money, you make more sales if you promote. But that's all on you. That is all on you. To me, it works. To me, I try to utilize a lot of the tools that are available on the tool called the website, the toolbox called the website, right? All right, so that's going to wrap that one up. Like what you heard, like what you saw, like what you learned. Then tell me things going up. Comment down below. Subscribe, share. It's all free. They help me, help you, help me to get a sponsor. Heck yeah. Wait.